And then when that doesn't work, you just try to stir stuff up with the police and the public and get a conflagration going. This is a crazy time to be alive. The toll-free number to join us is 877-789-2539. First-time callers, 877-789-ALEX. Love to hear from you. I'm going to go to Colin, Bobby, Joseph, Cole, Mark, Sean, many others here in a moment. Then coming up in the next hour, I saw 3 or 4 positive pieces of news just in one stack I was looking at today, so I want to get into that. Also, Middle Eastern news, massive explosions reported following Israeli airstrikes near Syrian capital. We're going to get into the latest on drone collisions, scare at Heathrow, Airbus and near miss with craft that ghosted into Britain's biggest airport undetected by air traffic control. That ties into rogue computerized cameras, plague BBC news presenters. Want to live forever? Tech firm wants to create your digital alter ego. South China Morning Post. I want to get into what the technocracy really means, because technology is being bent in a way as a Trojan horse to control humans and to basically lower our IQs and consciousness. Look what smartphones have done. Look what calculators have done. Yeah, they make things easy, but then no one knows how to do math. What are the side effects of this, especially when they're not side effects? Us using smartphones to get work done is a side effect of what the social engineers deployed them for. Saudi-born U.S. naval engineer allegedly gave undercover agent info on how to sink an aircraft carrier, showed up at the drop zone to get money from the FBI agent. That's just some of what's coming up. Man wielding knife stabs 4 people aboard Amtrak train in Michigan, CNN. What's the answer? Ban knives? Well, they're trying in England. Yeah, don't blame the guy with the knife, just blame the knife. Of course, they're blaming the guy with the knife because it's not a gun. But in England, they go so far as to actually blame the knife because, you know, a block of knives at your house, why, it's going to come out of there at night and go kill people. This is the war against logic. You didn't build your business, Common Core math, fuzzy math. I want to go to Mark in Texas first, because he's former law enforcement, wants to give his take on MSNB or MSM. I call it dinosaur media, only focusing on race. Yeah, there's cases all the time where cops, you know, black cops kill whites, whites kill whites, Hispanic cops kill blacks, Hispanic cops kill whites, whites kill Hispanic cops. I mean, this stuff just goes on. Good shootings, bad shootings. It just goes on out of 320 million people. But they want to make a few deaths the whole issue. And then again in Denver, I have the video coming up. If you're a TV viewer, radio listeners can see it at Infowars.com. We simulcast at Infowars.com/show if you want to actually see it. The car runs over 2 cops. 2 of them were almost killed. And the crowd starts chanting, hit him again, hit him again. Think about that. Think about that. That's mob rule. That's mental illness. If I saw a group of cops run over some people, and then the cops chanted, hit him again, I would just go into a complete fit. And you would too. But what happens when citizens talk like that? Do you know those people that got hit? Do you know they're guilty of something? Do you want to have due process? See, I want to be given due process and treated like a human being. That means I've got to treat everybody else like that. I mean, this is just common sense stuff, and I don't know where it's going. But it shows how they've made it all about what color you are, how you dress, where you're from. It's all about gangs now. It's all about the surface. It's all about what you look like, the opposite of what Martin Luther King said. So Mark in Texas, then Colin and others. Mark, thanks for calling. Go ahead.
Alex, I don't know if you ever heard of these guys on Sirius. I wish you were still in Sirius. I don't know why they took you off. But anyway, Bauer and Rose. They're 2 neocon types. One, as a matter of fact, I think Bauer ran for president one time, right? And I managed to get through. Usually, they won't take calls by somebody like me. But anyway, what I wanted to point out to them is that the whole racial thing is nothing but a divide. It's nothing but what the mainstream media, including, by the way, Fox News and most of mainstream talk, uses when the problem is police abuse around the country. And militarization of police, which they excuse. They thought it's fine and dandy to militarize them. They said it because when you got kids growing up without fathers, that's an excuse or something for the military. I couldn't believe it.
And the state and the Democratic Party paid in the 60s black women not to have men at home, and they went from having better legitimacy numbers than whites to upwards of 90% not having fathers in the home, which they know makes you 5 to 7 times more likely to be in prison or drugs, where you go and get a gang member father figure. So you're absolutely right. I appreciate your call. Here's what's going on. We submit films to Apple iTunes. Even when they solicit us, higher-level people kill it and don't let our stuff go on iTunes. That is my films, like Obama Deception. Google Store, this was in the news 5 years ago, killed Obama Deception and wouldn't let us sell it on a Google Store we set up. There's a news article about that. We got record listeners and subscribers for SiriusXM in the 5 years we were on. Executives there put me on there. It was a big controversy. And then in an internal deal with debt restructuring and a large bank cartel that came in and bought part of it, they said, kick Alex Jones and any other libertarian, paleo-conservative stuff off. Over 100 shows were kicked off of there because they don't want it to be heard. We have to jump through 100 hoops to get on something like iHeartRadio, and that's done by gatekeepers. Like, there'll be one executive who really likes what you're doing above somebody who doesn't like what you're doing, or vice versa. So just know this. The system does everything they can to keep us off of venues like Roku, Boxy, podcast on iTunes, you name it, where we are there. Because you know why? You go to any of the hundreds of platforms this show streams on, within a matter of weeks we're on them. We climb to the top. I don't care if it's Shoutcast, where we're usually number one out of thousands of channels, and then that's been around for 20 years. We've been on it for like 15, 16. We're number one. We end up becoming the top 5 anywhere we are in an open market. Well, how does the system compete with something that the people want? They shut it down. I mean, I've been on well over 100 stations just the last 5 years where we have top ratings in the city on a small station a lot of times. And boom, like Nosferatu comes a knocking at midnight, ESPN comes and buys the station and puts on sports over us. It's happened all over the country. So it isn't just about a free market. That's the point. They want a monopoly. But I got news for the establishment. 700, 800 million views conservatively on YouTube, just on our channels. 18 million listeners through the podcast, AM and FM, shortwave, all the different metrics we have a week. 18 million. And yeah, they've got all sorts of, Alexa got caught censoring us, and WorldNet Daily, and Drudge, and every other constitutional outfit. But we have subscriptions. Our numbers are skyrocketing, but publicly it shows us nosediving, while MSNBC and these people that have no listeners, that we're thousands of times bigger than online, are skyrocketing. I mean, they just are rigging things, but it doesn't matter to the sponsors. We've got more sponsors than we can ever even deal with. That's why we mainly just sell our own products, because the audience is so large, we can capitalize and fund things better that way and control quality. So, I mean, say I have no listeners. Just announce I'm dead. I'm still alive, like Mark Twain said. Rumors of my death have been greatly exaggerated. I'm here, growing. InfoWars is growing. But listen, listeners, they're trying to censor us because we're hurting them. You're hurting them. Tell your email list, your Facebook, your Twitter, your Instagram, whatever you're on, tune in to Infowars.com/show. Tune into this local AM and FM station. If you're listening on 590 right now in Austin, call your friends and family. Tell them tune into the second hour so they know. Get involved. Take action. The fact that they're scared trying to censor us on 1,000 fronts shows we're cleaning their clocks, and we're not going to stop. Tons of calls and a lot more. Straight ahead, the second hour. Promote the show. Give them a black eye.
We love that you're passionate about GCN. And whether you're a listener, a business owner, or a radio industry professional, we've redesigned the new GCN newsletter to keep you in the know. Get updates on your favorite GCN shows and hosts. Go to GCNlive.com and click on the banner in the upper left corner. Just for signing up, you're automatically entered for monthly giveaways. Start receiving your newsletter today. The future of talk radio. GCN.
Hi, this is Ted Anderson. Have you ever wondered why banks, stockbrokers, investment advisors won't talk about gold IRAs? They've been available since 1986, yet the financial industry won't recognize the value of gold for your retirement. Gold has outperformed paper investments, yet no word about IRAs. If you would like to have gold for your retirement, call 800-686-2237. Don't get left behind by rising inflation and low returns. Call 800-686-2237. Secure your future and call 1-800-686-2237.
Producing over 500 hours per week of talk radio, GCN Live is a world leader in talk radio. Archives for the following program can be found at GCNlive.com.
From his Central Texas Command Center, deep behind enemy lines, the information war continues. It's Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
All right, we're going to go to Colin, and everybody else is patiently holding. Let's go to Colin in California. Thanks for calling today.
Hey, how's it going, Alex?
Good, brother. Yep. You're on the air, Colin.
How's it going, Alex?
Good. Can you hear me?
Hey, I was wanted to talk about ISIS and about their end game and possibly being...
Yeah, I think you're having some phone problems. You're on air and you're talking about ISIS.
going into